Back to the NBA here. Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets head to Minnesota for Game 6 tonight. Their second straight winner-go-home matchup as they try to force a Game 7 back in Denver. Jokic looks to build on his Game 5 triple-double. Anthony Edwards remains out for the Timberwolves after suffering that bone bruise and hyperextension in his left knee during Game 4. And so, Kenny, if the Nuggets lose to the Timberwolves without Ant-Man, does that change how you view Jokic?
It actually changes how I view Rudy Gobert because he's a guy who's been maligned for being taken advantage of by Jokic, not able to stay on the floor in the fourth quarter because and because he can't shoot free throws at times. So his play has just been spectacular. But I don't think Jokic's view changes. I think they've had a lot of changes in Denver, coaching changes, no more Mike Malone. Adelman in his, first couple of years as a coach in the playoffs in scenario. I don't know if his view changes because he has a plethora of years left. I think the way the team was deconstructed after they won the championship, I don't know if they've ever recovered from that. And that is what they need to do. And they need to build a different support system around him. But Jokic has been putting up astronomical numbers, historical numbers, and will continue to do that for at least the next 5 years.
So, Kenny, let me just push back really quick, Stephen A., before you go. You don't think if they lose, you don't think they should make any changes?
No, I didn't say. You said Jokic is his legacy. So, yeah, I think that right now, their team, the way they have been deconstructed after the championship, yes, they will have to take some hard looks because we having – Michael Porter Jr. not there anymore. You having Brown coming in and out. You had Brown, the other Brown starting. All of a sudden, you have this influx of deconstruction that may not have worked. And I see that as more of an issue than Jokic's legacy because in the next 5 years, he's going to be flirting with 30 points a game. He's going to be floating with 12 rebounds a game, and he's going to be floating around with 8 to 10 assists a game. That legacy is not going to go anywhere for the next 5 years. You have to just make sure you have great players around it.
Stephen A.
Kenny, I've been on the record saying this over the last few days. I think this conversation is offensive to Nikola Jokic. I want to remind everybody, not only is he a champion, just this past regular season alone, the man against Minnesota averaged 35, 15, and 11 on 65% shooting from the field and 50% from three-point range. And we gonna act like Rudy Gobert is doing all of this to him, like he's 100% healthy. Don't we remember Nikola Jokic getting hurt? Don't we remember him coming back? Don't we remember lamenting the fact that he is clearly not 100% himself? This is Jokic that we're talking about. All of a sudden, he forgets how to play against Rudy Gobert. Come on, y'all. Let's stop this nonsense. I respect Rudy Gobert. He's a multiple-time defensive player of the year. I know what he brings to the table, and mad respect to him. But you talk about a brother's walking kryptonite. This conversation is offensive to Nikola Jokic. I want to remind everybody, not only is he a champion, just this past regular season alone, the man against Minnesota averaged 35, 15, and 11 on 65% shooting from the field and 50% from three-point range. And we gonna act like Rudy Gobert is doing all of this to him, like he's 100% healthy. Don't we remember Nikola Jokic getting hurt? Don't we remember him coming back? Don't we remember lamenting the fact that he is clearly not 100% himself? This is Jokic that we're talking about. All of a sudden, he forgets how to play against Rudy Gobert. Come on, y'all. Let's stop this nonsense. I respect Rudy Gobert. He's a multiple-time defensive player of the year. I know what he brings to the table, and mad respect to him. But you talk about a brother's walking kryptonite. It has been Nikola Jokic, who has had a field day against this man. So it stands to reason that there's something about Nikola Jokic that ain't healthy, that is not himself. And like you talked about the deconstruction of the Denver Nuggets in terms of bodies going in and out, Michael Porter Jr. not being there. How about Aaron Gordon being out last year? What about that? Didn't they still push the Oklahoma City Thunder to 7 games? Isn't he sitting out right now? If the Denver Nuggets had their ducks in order, meaning everybody on the court healthy, Are we really looking at them and saying, oh my God, there's a lot to be worried about? Ant-Man out, DiVincenzo out, they wouldn't have a prayer against Denver if Aaron Gordon and those boys were healthy. But they're not. And that's the reality. In the absence of depth, along with health issues, that has compromised Denver to some degree. But in the end, I got to tell you this. I'm rooting for Denver because my favorite player, Ant-Man, him and Steph Curry are my two favorite players in the world to watch. Ant-Man is out. DiVincenzo, who I wish was still a New York Knick, by the way. Don't get me started with that, Kenny. Don't even get me started with how I miss him being a New York Knick, all right? Okay? I wish he was still there. My point is, with both of them being out for a lengthy period, DiVincenzo's done with the Achilles tear, and Ant-Man is out for several weeks. I don't even care if Minnesota wins because I want Denver because I think Denver is going to have a better chance against San Antonio than Minnesota is going to have without Ant-Man available to them. That's where I'm at with it. But I'm tired of all of this talk about Jokic like somehow he's being neutralized by Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert looked like one of those, I don't know what you call them, one of those folks in the woods running from Jason for Friday the 13th every time he was in the vicinity of Jokic, okay? That's how much Jokic gets the hell out of him.
Would you agree, Stephen, though, like in key moments, he has had superior defense at times in this series. Now,
he's had his moments.
Over his career, no. In key moments, he has done things that we go, wow, he's actually made Jokic take a tough basket, did not concede, was not bullied around. And that's the only thing. He's not going to stop Jokic, but he needs to have key moments against him.
He can slow him down.
That's fair. And I that's fair, and I don't agree. I don't disagree with that at all. I'm just saying that it's been more than just key moments. Jokic has not looked like himself at all. We have to concede that this is Nikola Jokic, man. This is Nikola Jokic. I mean, nobody makes him look like he's struggling like this when he's healthy. That's all I'm saying.
He did look like himself in Game 5, I'll say that. Excluding the bubble, the Nuggets have lost all elimination games at least the last 5 times when facing elimination on the road. That excludes the bubble. It dates back all the way to 2012. Coming up here on First Take, do I have to sing it? Go New York, go New York, go. Do I have to do it? The Knicks may have figured out the formula, but are we ready to say that they are more dangerous than the Boston?
About Victor Wembanyama when I got to know him was we had never seen anybody this big with this much skill. But it's his competitive streak. So Wilbon was just talking about that. Advia had just gotten a technical foul for running at one of Wembanyama's teammates. He could have kicked that off the backboard. He sent it into the stands to send a message. And he also shows leadership. He says, we're going to do the dunk contest. We're going to play in the All-Star game. And then you know what happened? He cried after this game, Greeny, because he was emotional after winning his first playoff series. And he was asked, what are you going to say to people who may judge you? And he goes, I don't want to waste energy on worrying about hiding my emotions. He is not just an incredible player and an incredible athlete and an incredible guy who sets leadership. He's extremely thoughtful and he's arrogant. He talks trash. He covers it in a little bit of a smoothness that doesn't always come off like that. He is a dream player for the NBA. He is hopefully going to remain healthy and become a transformational player for the league for decades to come.
Eloquent trash. He's the first person. I'm going to go to a place now I know I shouldn't go. But there are elements of this in talking, and this is where Shaq is going. He reminds me of 3 people, none of whom are bigs. There are elements that anger for losing when he lost in Vegas, or he lose that is Jordan and Bird, right? There's a joy that reminds me of Magic and the ability to lead at a young age where people are afraid on his team to not follow him. Who has that? That all of those things, it's the makeup as much as the athleticism and the ball handling, the shooting, the free throws. The first thing Shaq says was free throws. What did we do during the break? What did I ask him about? What's his foul shooting? 82%. I'm going to say I don't think there's ever been a big who shot 82% from the foul line. Ever. Who would be? Kareem, who would it be?
There it is, 7-footers. Look at Hembo right there. historically 7-footer shoot 69% from the line. Wembanyama 82%.
What a stat.
There's